The following episode of Generation Random is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content and graphic language. Listener discretion is advised. If you're a bit of a sook, prob's not for you.
Life is very random, life is very random, life is very random to say. Life is very random, very, very random, very, very random to say. No, you cannot see, cause life is very random. Life is very random to me, oh yeah. Life is very random to me.
I'm just going, and then I'll do all the introductions in a minute because I didn't do this with Brad before, and we got some really good shit before I even started recording. It's really upsetting.
Yeah. You gotta start recording right away. That's the key.
Yeah, because he's like, "Are you recording?" I went, "No, I haven't started the show yet." And he's like, "Oh fuck." Man, I've just been trying to edit it, and you can hear all the sirens and everything going on in the background, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta fucking try and edit that out." But then it happened when we were talking about the riots, so it added some atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily there's no fucking protest going on around me right now, so we're good.
So how far are you away from Brad?
Probably like a 10 to 15 minute drive. I mean, it's not far, but the protests are all like, at least the last ones I saw, were like downtown and in like North Park area. And I'm by the beach, so there's really not much going on over here. Although some woman, so there's always like people freaking out, you know, like basically old suburban homeowner types. And this woman posted something on the neighborhood app.
Is the name Karen?
Like, basically, she was like, she's like, "Oh, there's all these pallets with like, you know, cinder blocks or whatever, bricks over here in front of this house. Like, I heard that they're like in a riot over here on Saturday." And everybody's like, that's construction on a home. Like, delete this shit right now. Like, chill the fuck out. It's not fucking chaos.
I was watching a video the other day where this woman called the cops because these kids were driving in one of those little cars, like, you know, those motorized cars, and she was like, "Where's your license? You're not allowed to be driving. Where's your license?" Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, but us Australians kind of look on you guys and go, you know, and then you meet some really smart Americans, and then just, I don't know, the rest of them let you down.
Well, I mean, you guys got your shit under control with the whole pandemic and all of that, obviously.
Yeah, we're starting to open up. I think last week there was in Sydney, in New South Wales alone, there was only like 7 reported cases, and even them were from overseas, like people coming from overseas. So it wasn't even really any new cases. And then you've got Western Australia, the most isolated city in the world. Nothing. Not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys got your shit under control fast and early, and we fucking had a total train wreck. Like, apparently what happened, the reason why it's got all fucked up and spread super quick was because when the pandemic all started, Trump had announced about canceling like travel from Europe and China and all these different places. So a bunch of Americans who were abroad freaked out that they weren't going to be able to get back into America. And so they all booked flights last minute and crammed into the fucking airports. Yeah. And they traced like a bunch of the cases that first came to America from that panic.
Okay.
So, like,
it still doesn't sound as bad as what we did. So we let a cruise ship, which had about 500 people on it, who were pretty much 90% of them were infected. We said, yeah, come in. And somebody decided to go, all right, you can come in, but you can also go and walk around Sydney. And that's where pretty much all our cases of coronavirus came from. Because these people went as tourists and just started walking around Sydney.
At least you guys were able to track those down people easily.
Well, they made, I don't know if they did it in America, but they made an app, right? They made a coronavirus app. So what it is, it kind of bounces on Bluetooth back and forth. So I'll download it, and then everyone else will download it. And then if somebody's been in contact with somebody who's got a positive thing for corona, it will actually text you back and say you've been within such and such meters of somebody who's had or have corona. So you can go, oh, shit, okay. No worries, I'll go to the doctor, get tested. But we had drive-through testing.
Yeah, no, we had none of that. Like, the craziest, like, Americans are so fucking stupid. Like, I get, like, you want to have privacy and all of that, but, like, you can delete the app.
Like, oh, yeah. Done, like, there was a lot of people that didn't want to even get the app because they were like, oh, government's just trying to track me and shit. I don't want the government to know. And it's in the Australian way. It's not like, oh, the government wants to track me. It's just, I don't want the government to know about my my payments. I don't want to lose my benefits.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like, yeah, obviously you don't want them to, like, know too much. But, like, at the same time, like, there were companies here that were, I think it was, like, Apple and, like, Google were doing, like, third-party apps.
Yeah.
So basically the government's not even directly involved. It would just be, like, the contact tracers that were using the information.
Just using for ads.
People. Yeah, for ads too, yeah. So, yeah, like, people were freaking out. But I'm like, it's not that crazy to temporarily download an app to be like, all right, you know, let's at least, like, make sure we can shut this shit down fast as possible. That way we can go back to life as normal.
But like I said, they had drive-through testing. It's like you literally stay in your car. You just drive up. Somebody in a suit grabs a swab, goes like that, takes your name, your number, your details, and then you drive off. And then you get your result in like a couple of days.
Yeah, there was like one or two places in the United States that was doing that. Like,
they had them everywhere here.
They're still not fucking doing it. It's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, I get the protests. I get what it's for, and it's a good cause. But has everyone just forgotten about coronavirus there? Like, everyone's just forgotten about social distancing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll at least say this. Like, most of the people, at least as far as I can tell, are wearing the mask. My biggest concern as far as, like, the spread goes isn't the protest, because outside you're probably pretty safe. Is the fact that they're locking all of these people in fucking holding cells and putting them in the back of paddy wagons for, like, hours on end. And I guarantee you that's going to be, if there is an outbreak, it's going to be from that. Dude, they're just straight up, like, arresting, like, there was a food delivery driver, or not driver, but like in New York City, they ride bicycles, the food delivery people. And one of them was out delivering a food order after curfew. And they just straight up arrested the guy and threw him in the fucking holding cell. That was with orders from the governor, like, hey, like, these people are exempt, you're supposed to let them through. And like they're just rounding people up basically.
And the thing is about being in Australia that we totally rely on the media to give us the information of what's happening there. So we're kind of stuck with whatever story the media want to spin, we get. So if they want to make it out that everyone's looting, that's what we're going to get. Police brutality. That's all we're going to get. And I love how the police are being brutal against protesters, against police brutality.
I know, it's fucking nuts. It would be like if when Harvey Weinstein got accused of, like, jerking off in front of women and sexually assaulting them, if his response was then to go out in public and just start jerking off in front of a bunch of women.
That's the perfect image I want it at this time in the morning.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. Like honestly, like, if there was a fucking PR person that existed for any fucking law enforcement agency, they probably have to be fucking banging their head against the desk right now.
Oh, dude,
like,
they're hiding.
Fucking kidding me?
They're in the corner, like, just rocking back and forth, going, "What the fuck? What the fuck? How do I get back from this?"
Is anybody walking into that meeting between, like, the police union and, like, the police chief and, like, the mayor, and they're like, hey guys, like, you might want to do some image control right here and think about not fucking just beating the shit out of random people for no reason.
Well, how do we deal with the riots? More police brutality. That's what I think we should do. All right, let's go.
And the part that's, like, even more nuts is, like, people have been interviewed who actually, like, implemented, police policies that are actually active in these current police departments of, like, how to deal with protests and how to stop them from rioting. And the protocol is basically to line the sidewalks in front of the stores to prevent looters and just allow the fucking protests to keep moving. And they're doing the exact fucking opposite. The exact fucking opposite. It's insane. They're just actively making everything worse.
I still think the greatest video I've seen of looters is the lady who went in and looted the cheesecake shop just to bring out a cheesecake. That's all she looted was a kid cheesecake. I was like, that is brilliant.
Honestly, I can't blame her.
I mean, I'm just thinking about Australians looting places, and it'd be just all the alcohol shops. They'd be just like bogans running out with like slabs of beer on their shoulders, like running to the utes, like lining them up.
I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like, I wouldn't want to get anything heavy. Like, just give me the liquor and I'm out.
Yeah, that's it. Let me have a good time. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Well, that was the biggest thing. Like when we went into lockdown, alcohol liquor stores sold out of like grog, of beer, of alcohol, because Australians were like, well, if we're going to be stuck in isolation with our fucking kids, we're going to do it drunk.
Yeah, and then what sucks for you guys is fucking you're on an island, so if you run out of alcohol, you gotta get all that stuff shipped back in.
Oh, all the hard. Oh, we've got enough of our own variety to get us through. Like we do a lot of our own beers, and we do some good whiskeys, and it's mostly rum we do. So yeah, it's not a really great thing because our rum makes you mad and want to fight. So we'd probably end up riding.
Why rum though?
I don't know. It's just something. I don't know. Bundaberg rum. It's a really famous rum in Australia. Really nice, really smooth. But yeah,
is the crops? I don't even know what rum's made of.
Molasses and I don't know. Yeah, Bundaberg. It's a famous. Yeah, they make ginger beer as well. The same company.
Ginger ale.
Yeah, we call it ginger beer. Ginger ale,
yeah.
ginger beer, same thing. Yeah.
They call it ginger beer here too when they want to make it sound fancy at the bar. I honestly thought it was something different, and then I looked into it. I was like, "Oh, this is the exact same
it's
shit."
the exact same thing. We just call it beer because when you call it ale in Australia, you go, "What? It's just fucking beer, mate. It's just fucking call it what it is." Well, mate, randoms. If you haven't noticed, I am talking to Alex from the Tasteless Gentleman. Thanks for joining me, mate. It's a great honour to have you on the show. I've got 3 from 4 now. I'm collecting the whole lot of yous.
I'm glad to be here. As America burns.
As America burns, you're probably the one that strikes the most interest out of everybody. Within the Discord and within my friends. Because you're probably I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you look at Scoop, you get what you get. You get what you see with Scoop. He's out there and everything, like Bradley as well. You're kind of like an anomaly. You're like, you only give so much and then that's it. And, I think your stories on the podcast crack me up. Because I just can feel like I kind of connect because I was like, I've been in situations you've been in and I laugh myself because I'm like, oh, it might be slightly different because, Australia and everything. But your stories crack me up and you can just tell that whenever you talk about something, you've done probably hours upon hours of research on it. And that's what I like about you is that you just don't talk about stuff for the sake of talking about it. You've actually got shit to back it up and you know what you're talking about. So kudos, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's mainly just a fucking gold mine of worthless information in my head is pretty much what it is.
Remind me to take you to a trivia night if you ever come to Australia.
I'm decent at trivia, yeah. I mean, all that worthless information does come into play when you're in a bar. So that's always a good thing. But as far as the stories go, like, I don't know about for you, at least if you've experienced, stories, some of the shit that I have had that's similar is, it's kind of weird to have like crazy stories or shit that's happened to you. And then other people have like none of those. You know what I mean? Like people never really